Ladies and gentlemen, former President Donald Trump has filed a lawsuit against Letitia James, New York's Attorney General. New York Times. Trump files a lawsuit against New York Attorney General. Now, the interesting thing is, you can look ABC News, Trump sues New York Attorney General Letitia James after she sued him for $250 million. The question is, why did New York go after him in a civil case? It's not a criminal case. That's why he's suing Letitia James. They went after Trump for 7 years. Okay, it's like that meme from the Titanic. It's been 84 years. They have not found a crime. Okay, and you have an attorney general who has consistently stated that she will go after Trump, take him down, destroy him, ruin him, and all of that. So there are numerous. The Washington Times has an article on numerous examples of Attorney General James stating that she will go after Trump and try her best to put him in prison. This is not, when you see like Lady Justice with the blindfold outside the Supreme Court, there is no, this is about Democrats going after the direct political rivals. They're doing so in Georgia. They're doing so in New York. They're doing so in the federal government in D.C. Attorney General Merrick Garland goes into Mar-a-Lago using the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They still haven't indicted him for a crime. It was supposed to be this, the epicenter of criminality, Mar-a-Lago, his tax returns, his businesses in New York, pressuring officials in Georgia. They haven't found anything. Why haven't they found anything? We're going to explain in the next couple of minutes. Hit subscribe to this channel if you want to give a super thanks. The super thanks button is below, ladies and gentlemen. Also, my Patreon is below if you want to support my work long term. To my new Patreons, I cannot thank you enough. I will have a live stream tonight at around 6 p.m. Pacific time. We're going to talk about this, and we're going to talk about Trump calling to impeach Mitch McConnell, which what he means is removing Mitch McConnell from a leadership position. That is very important for a number of reasons, and I explained that in the segment prior to this one about 2 hours ago. So definitely watch that segment. But ladies and gentlemen, they tried to go after him in New York. And if there's a wonderful, morally superior, highly educated liberal Democrat that actually stumbles upon this, why haven't you found anything to charge criminally against Trump? Why isn't Trump in prison? Okay, we know that Clinton broke laws. How do we know this? Watch the short on this channel. It's not my words. It's 26,000 views. The short on this channel shows the Honorable Director James Comey stating that although there's potential violations of the legal statutes pertaining to the handling of classified data, no reasonable prosecutor would indict. I think that might be verbatim. That's what Comey states, almost verbatim. And you can watch that, just go to the homepage on H.A. Goodman and watch that on this channel. By the way, go to H.A. Goodman's other channel, hit subscribe there. I have a segment yesterday and the day before. I'll have a very important segment today also. I'm growing that channel. We're over 20,000 subs on that channel, so that's awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, they have not found a crime that Trump committed because he didn't commit a crime. The difference, however, is that Clinton did commit crimes. Hunter did commit crimes. They're trying to get him either a plea deal or indicted on certain crimes that have nothing to do with the graft linked to Joe. Mashed potato brains met with Hunter's business associates. Okay? That's within reporting in the New York Post. And if you look, ladies and gentlemen, if you look, the emails on that laptop from you-know-where show clear graft potential bribery schemes. These are felonies, okay? You will actually see felonies with 150 suspicious financial transactions and emails where people are asking Hunter for his influence on behalf of their company, where Hunter says he gives 10% to the big man, which is Joe Biden. And so you can see how those emails correlate to official business when Joe was vice president. Okay, if you can't see the correlation between him forcing out a prosecutor in a country now being invaded under his watch, well then, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, everything bad that was supposed to happen under Trump, which didn't happen, is now happening under mashed potato brains and Democrats, which is why in about a couple of days, ladies and gentlemen, you will see a complete red wave, red tsunami. Will take that. Trump Republicans will take the Senate and, of course, the House. And how Democrats react on the 9th or, a week later or 2 weeks later when the counting finally stops, how they react, it will be very interesting. Okay? They always deny anything that doesn't suit them, including results. Okay? They're talking about, they talk about democracy and how you need to be in a certain emotional state of acceptance. But that has nothing to do with democracy. A person's emotional state, or whether they trust or distrust the system, has nothing to do with democracy. You test and you verify and you make sure through the courts that American democracy is alive and well. We found that out 2 years ago. Trump lost every single court battle. Democrats lost every single court battle 4 years or 6 years ago. We found that out also. So it's like what Democrats are doing, they're not focusing on inflation. They're not focusing on crime. They're not focusing on immigration. They're not focusing on foreign policy. Their foreign policy is an absolute catastrophe. They have nothing to show for governance. They're terrible at governing. They have nothing to show for what's going on 4 years now and then 2 years with Biden. So, they have nothing to show for it except pumping more money into the economy after they gleefully shut down economic activity. And then went to battle against the oil and gas industry and then begged OPEC for more oil and then flooded strategic petroleum reserves, 200 million barrels of strategic petroleum reserves. Okay, but he's suing because they're obviously going after him, and it's obviously political. Like, if you are like a million sub YouTube channel and you just regurgitate everything that CNN says and the Washington Post, and then you build your audience a million to 4 million subs on basically being a millennial CNN or whatever, at what point do you realize that Trump is not going to get indicted anytime soon? And if he ever does, it'll just be to counteract or counterbalance Hunter's indictment or plea deal. So Ted Cruz is right about that. I think that they will eventually, I think there's a great possibility that he does get indicted simply to knock him out of 24. But then Democrats open the floodgates into indictment of Joe, which could take down their entire political party. So I don't think, it would be very difficult for them to indict Trump, because then you have the entire Republican Party going after former Democrats, former Democratic Party presidents. And so that'll be interesting to see. Democrats, though, don't really think of the future. They're just very impulsive, and they just think of, the now and whatever political strategist convinces them of whatever horrendous strategy. So we'll see. But they cannot stop Trump in 24. They just cannot. Who's going to stop him? Mashed potato brains? I think Hillary Clinton is going, and I pray that Hillary runs. God bless her, please. I mean, I don't think it's going to be tough to surpass mashed potato brains Joe. So I think it's going to be a Hillary Trump 2024. I think it'll be fantastic. But they can't stop Trump. They can only try to investigate him. That's all they've done in 6 years. They have not been able to find anything because guess what? He did not commit a crime. He did not commit a crime. Say that a million times, Democrats. He did not commit a crime. This would be like, this is essentially the nightmare of Democrats when they realize that it's like an alcoholic reaching rock bottom and it's like they only have themselves to blame. They'll realize eventually when they get completely obliterated politically in the Senate and the House in about 5 days? November 8th, people. It's just coming up. They will realize that their obsession with Trump was their undoing and did them no good. You can obsess over Trump, but the only people who will truly buy that nonsense are people who will vote blue no matter who anyway. So what you've done, you've actually alienated Democrats, you've alienated, independents, and with your nonsensical, irrational theories on a whole bunch of things, you've alienated lifelong Democrats. But voting Trump Republican is the only way to go if you want to fix the economy. and you want a foreign policy that doesn't lead to potential nuclear potential annihilation. Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. I'll be here tonight for the live stream at 6 p.m.